Hi again guys, Arthur from Twisted Monkey Garage. Right, so today, following on with the Mark V project, we're going to start taking some things out the engine bay, clearing it up a bit and going from there. What I like to do first though, especially on a build like this and where I want the build to head, is so as I'm taking things out, I just find it's easy. You don't have to do the same, but I do. We're going to look for areas like this, you see where nothing's in, draw around it, make it obvious. And then I know that I can safely fill that when it's time to put everything back together again, try and make everything look a bit smoother. Obviously that'll be filled off the car, so otherwise I'm going to, yeah, you know, I don't need to explain all this to you, do I? So yeah, all we're going to do then is start taking things like the coolant jar, that if I can get to it without taking the front bumper off for now. The battery can come out, the air filter and everything can come out. So let's get cracking. This is going to be messy, by the way. If you're planning on doing this yourself, and you're bothered about making a mess, I mean, it's only coolant, just fancy water, but if you don't want it to drop on the floor, just put some underneath to catch it. Okay, so let's start with the expansion tank. You can see that this part of the loom here, it clips into the actual expansion tank as well, just in those little recesses there. So just make sure you move it out of the way. And the next step is just to get these off. If you haven't got a set of these pliers, by the way, I really rate them because it just makes things so much easier. I mean, look at that. That's not going to move much further down without damaging the hose. Oh, there we go. The hose will get replaced anyway, but yeah, so that's that free. Obviously, we're going to get rid of the connection for the sensor. There, it just unplugs, and then you've just got the two torque screws, one there. Once that's lifted up, we'll be able to get the bottom pipe off there a lot easier. You are going to lose some coolant here, but it is what it is. Okay, so like I was saying, just the two T25s, which is pretty difficult to do with one hand. One and two. Oh, that one's grabbed that. So what we're going to do is we'll take these obviously, and we'll put them inside a freezer bag, which I shall do now. So yeah, just like that, got them both in there, and obviously written on their expansion tank, and I'm going to do this for everything that comes off, just so I know where they fit. They'll probably be replaced anyway, for new shiny ones, depending on if I need them, because that expansion tank is going to get changed. I'm not keeping that one in there, I don't like it. We're going to go for something a bit better, but they keep them safe just in case. Who knows. Right, once they're out, you can see that this will be able to be lifted, but it's just a bit of a fight to get it past the loom without it clipping back in at the top. So I'm just going to need 2 hands for this guy, so be back in a second. Yeah, there we go. So you can get it out, you've just got to kind of angle it with both hands and then pull it out. It's very difficult with one hand. And then, as we're saying, now that that's done, we can get to that a lot easier, he says. Still quite difficult with one hand. Right, I need 2 hands again, so give me 2 seconds. Right, so there you go, you can see the spring clamp there, pipe, and then just pull it off the expansion tank there. Now, I've managed to keep all the coolant in here, somehow. So I am going to dispose of that, and then we're going to put it in that box. Like I say, I don't know whether I'm keeping this one or not. The chances are I'm not, because it's just standard, it looks crap, and they get filthy, and yeah, they just don't look good. And for the kind of build we're doing, I don't want anything to look crap really. So yeah, right, I'm just going to empty this, then we'll get it put back in there, and then we'll crack on and do a few more things. Right, so the coolant tank's empty. I don't know if I can show you in there, but you'll see just how, well, filthy they all get in there. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. It's quite hard focusing, but you can see all the crap and everything that's collected in there over the years. It's just not good. And cleaning these out, it's a nightmare. Like the easiest way I've seen to do it before, where you can get them almost like new without buying new, is sticking them in one of those sonic cleaner things, leaving it in there for 20 minutes. So, and that usually does a pretty good job, to be honest. But yeah. Right, so we shall put that away for safekeeping and crack on. Right, so that's the first bit done. There we go. There we go. Right, next thing I want to get out is the charcoal canister, the carbon charcoal canister. Now, the job of this is to catch all those smelly fuel fumes from the petrol, and it holds them in there. When the engine is running and you're driving along, the N80 valve opens up and it releases the fumes into the inlet manifold, and then they just get used in the combustion process. All it essentially means is any excess fumes, so your car doesn't smell of fuel when you're parked up. Literally its job. Yeah, so we're going to get that out. They should be changed regularly as well. Last time I changed out was when I did the engine rebuild, so it's going to be pretty stinking. But yeah, we'll get it out now. It's really hard to do things with just one hand, so I'm going to tell you how to do it, then do it, and I'm going to have to look at trying to get like a body cam or something I can wear. I have no idea on any of that, so if anybody's got any suggestions on what I could use to film this to make it all a bit easier, then please let me know. Right, so you can see, obviously we've got the fuel line there, so it's coming from there. We'll probably undo it from that end, to be honest. Spring clamp, pipe off, and then this whole canister just slides up off the bracket, and then you've got the 3 10 mils holding the bracket to the car. So one there, one down there which you can't see, just about there, and then one there. I'm gonna get that done. I'll come back when it's off. Like I said, the process I've said, it's really simple. It's not too difficult to get off. Right, so that's free. Now you can see what I was saying there. Those points there, they just slide into the 3 points there, and it just pulls up. The easiest way, obviously that side was spring clamp, that's fine. This side, which connects to there, you simply just press that in. If you look there, you press it in, it's just release and pull. Really simple. And yeah, stinks of fuel. But yeah, this definitely will not be going back in the car, so I'm not too bothered about keeping this one safe. I know it needs one. Needs one at the minute. We'll see whether they're in an improved engine and the building going for a coarser one then. Right, so now we're just going to go ahead and strip a few more things. Now, I need to know what people want to see on this build. I need to know if you want to see everything, which is fine. I can film everything, it's not a problem, it's not going to take any longer. Or whether you just want me to skip parts and just get on with it. Either way, it's going to be a long build. All I'm trying to do is just let you know what's going on as and when it happens. There's a few things I can say already that are certainly going to change. This is not going to live in here because it's fucking ugly. I shall find a new place for that that's not in the engine bay. Doesn't really matter as long as you've got obviously a strong enough pump to get it from, I don't know, the boot. We decided to put it in the boot up to the front where the windscreen washers are, but it's certainly not going to live there. The battery is not going to live there either. That's going to get relocated, as will possibly the fuse box, and yeah, we'll see about tucking some wires in and everything and making it look a bit more better, for want of a better word. Now don't get me wrong, VW did a great job on the Mark 5. For me, I'm probably going to sound biased here, but the Mark 5 was the best GTI they've made. But, you know, there's always room to make things better, isn't there? And faster. So yeah. Right, I'm going to take a few more things out, then I'll come back to you and let you know what I've done. Right, so as you can see, obviously the brackets come out for the charcoal filter. I can't get this out without removing the front bumper, so that's going to have to wait a bit. Everything that's been taken out has gone in there. So this side now we've got the air intake coming off from there. That's all gone, the battery's gone, the battery tray's gone. And now you can see actually that there's not that much really to do to pull an engine. Once you've made the space around, you can see what's attached to it and what's not. As long as you detach everything that's attached to the car, just pull the engine, you'll be fine. The trick is remembering where it all goes, but you learn that. So yeah, you can see it's tired. I have noticed another problem down here as well. So here's another fault, obviously on the gearbox. Move that out so I can get that out of the way so it focuses. Right, so obviously, yeah, you've got it in gear fine. I've just dropped you, so apologies for that. Would you stay out the fucking way? Right, yeah, so you can see, obviously that gauge is fine. However, no, it doesn't. It shouldn't do that, by the way. It shouldn't just be able to slide out. You can see that obviously something is damaged down here. But yeah, it shouldn't do that because it's not doing anything now. So obviously that needs looking at too. Yeah, while I'm here though, I am curious as to the state of the engine. I mean, if we have a look in there, it's quite black, you can't really see. But what I do want to do is I want to remove the high pressure fuel pump. So we're going to get this off, and then I want to see what state the cam follower is in. Yeah, these can go. I don't know why they've been left on. There's no need for them. These are for the original engine cover that sits on top that you can't put in when you put an aftermarket air intake in. So that needs to come off. There's one there. There's one there. I'm probably not even going to bother saving them. Right, so the HP FP, the high pressure fuel pump, it's just an electrical connector there. Done. You've got fuel lines down there. Look, 2 of them, and then you've got the torque screws that actually hold it on. So there's one there, one there, one there. We'll get that off. I'll have a look at what state the cam follower is in, just out of curiosity. Okay, one thing I did forget to mention with the high pressure fuel pump is you need to depressurize it. It's really simple, it's like a tyre really. So just take this, there's a little black cap on there, which looks like that. Okay, that just screws onto there. Take it off, get a screwdriver or implement of your choice and just press it in. And you'll know when it's done because you'll see a squirt of fuel, which I had a second ago. Yeah, so, and also with these torque screws, what I do want to mention is you're going to find it very difficult to get to that one unless you take that off, but that's a simple spanner job. And there's another electrical connector there which I forgot to mention. Now, they are T30s. The amount of times I've seen with these cars, people have tried to get them off with a T27, and a T27 will fit. I'll do a quick demo in a minute, but a T30 fits snugly. They are very, very easy to chew up and round off, and it won't go well. I'll show you now that a T27 does fit, but how snug a T30 fits for you to enable to get them off. Right, so this is what I was saying. This is one of the torque screws from the fuel pump, and this is a T27 bit. Now, you can't blame people for this because a lot of things on Volkswagens are T27, but they put the T27 in and they're like, yeah, no, that fits. And it does fit, but there is a little bit of movement in it. The T30, you'll know it's the right fit because it fits snugly and securely, and there is no play or movement whatsoever once that's in. And that's really what you need to do with these, because otherwise, like I say, you chew them up and then they just become a nightmare. You see, that's nice and snug. You'll know because it just sits home so nicely and fits well. But yeah, like I say, they're very easy to chew up. Don't make that mistake. Okay then, to get that off there, to maybe to get to there, it's 13mm socket, 13mm spanner. I suppose you could use a socket if you can get one that got over there. They can be on quite tight, so it's a bit of a longer spanner just for that extra leverage. And then just undo it. Now, if you didn't depressurize before this point, you're gonna you're gonna find out why you should depressurize. Just put it that way. There we go. Don't worry about that fuel; it's fine. Keep that safe because we're gonna put it back on there as soon as it's off. Now, all I've got to do is tackle the fuel lines there and there, and get that last torque screw out there. We're good to go. And they shouldn't be that difficult. That one has been placed in a really shitty position, so we're going to get this off first so we can get to that. I'm probably going to take this off here as well, so we'll get it off there and then we'll get it off there. It'll give me access to that. Get them out of the way, get that off, pull that off. Job's a good one. Right, there you go. So once they're undone, you can see I've put that fitting back in there, but I did take it out. Just made it easy to get the fuel off, the other fuel line off. Okay, and then that obviously just fits in there. It's quite a snug fit, so you will have to pull it a little bit. Now, the cam follower here isn't actually looking too bad. It's a bit oily, so there's a bit of a concern, but other than that, she doesn't look too bad. Like I say, the engine was rebuilt not that long ago anyway, but yeah, and obviously that, in case you didn't know, just sits in there like that, and then the high pressure fuel pump just sits in there. So yeah, I've checked that, I'm happy with that. I just wanted to see what damage it was, really. I was just curious. But yeah, it's going to be a case of pulling everything else off now. Well, not everything, but you know, I'm going to keep the oil in there for as long as I can. Yeah, get it moved to a workshop, and then the real stripping down and the real work begins. Please, if you're watching this for the first time, give us a follow, a comment. This is going to be a very expensive build. The more money I can make off TikTok to help with this, the better. This build, really, in terms of quality and everything, it really depends how well these videos do. Now, it was going to always be rebuilt anyway, but obviously the more I can make off TikTok and things like that, the better build it's going to be. So yeah, appreciate your time, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.